Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honorable stop, not to outpost discretion. Iago has direction what to do, but notwithstanding, with my personal eye, will I look to it. Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow, with your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensure, the profits yet to come. Between me and you, good night. Welcome, Iago. We must to the watch.
Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 o' the clock. The general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who let us not therefore blame. He hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove.
She is a most exquisite lady.
And I'll warrant her full of game.
Indeed, she's a most fresh and delicate creature.
What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a partly of provocation.
An inviting guy, and yet methinks right modest.
And when she speaks, it is not an alarm to love?
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant, I have a sup of wine, and here without are a brace of sire gallants that would fain have a measure to health of black Othello.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and happy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
Oh, they are our friends, but one cup. I'll drink for you.
I have drunk but one cup tonight, and that was craftily qualified too, and behold, what innovation it makes here. I am fortunate in the infirmary, and not task my weakness with any more.
What, man? 'Tis a night of revels. The gallants desire it.
Where are they?
Here at the door. I pray you, call them in.
I'll do it, but it dislikes me.
If I could fasten but one cup upon him, with that which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as fond of quarrel and offence as my young mistress dog, now my sick fool Rodrigo, whom love hath turned almost the wrong side out. To Desdemona hath tonight caroused, potations pottle deep, and he's to watch. 3 lads of Cyprus, noble swelling spirits, that hold their honours in a very distance, the very elements of a warlike have I tonight flustered with flowing cups, and they watch too. Now amongst this flock of drunkards, am I to put our Cassio in some action? That may offend the isle. But here they come. If consequence do but approve my dream, my boat sails freely, both my wind and stream.
Fore God, they have given me a rouse already.
Good faith, a little one, not past a pint, as I am a soldier.
And let me the cannikins clink, clink, and let me the cannikin clink. A soldier's a man, a life's but a span, why then be a soldier, drink. And some wine, boys.
Fore God, an excellent song.
I learned it in England, where indeed they are most potent in poting. Your Dane, your German, and your swag-bellied Hollander. Drink, ho, are nothing to your English.
Is your Englishman so expert in his drinking?
Why, he drinks you with facility. Your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow you, Alamine. He gives your Hollander a vomit, ere the next bottle can be filled.
To the health of our general.
I am for it, Lieutenant, and I'll do you justice.
Oh, sweet England, King Stephen was a worthy peer. His breeches cost him but a crown. He held in suspense to all dear. With that he called the tailor loun. He was a wight of high renown. And though art but a low degree, 'tis pride that pulls other country down. Then take thine cloak about thee, and some wine, ho.
Why, this is a more exquisite song than the other.
Will you heart again?
No, for I hold him to be unworthy of this place, and does those things. Well, Gods above all, and every souls must be saved, and their souls must not be saved.
It's true, good lieutenant.
For mine own part, no offense to the general, nor any man of quality, I hope to be saved.
And so do I too, lieutenant.
But by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's do our affairs. Forgive us our sins, gentlemen. Look at the business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient. This is my right hand, and this is my left. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough and speak well enough.
Excellent well.
Why, very well then. You must not think then that I am drunk.
To the platform, masters. Come, let's set the watch.
You see this fellow that is gone before. He is a soldier fit to stand by Caesar, and give direction, and do but see his voice. 'Tis to his virtue a just equinox. The one as long as the other. 'Tis pity of him. I fear the trust Othello puts him in. On some odd time of his infirmity, will shake this island.
But is he often thus?
'Tis evermore the prologue to his sleep. He'll watch the horologe of double set. If I drink rock, not his cradle.
It there well, the general were put of mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not, or his good nature prizes the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not in his evils. Is this not true?
How now, Rodrigo? I pray you, after the lieutenant, go.
And 'tis great pity that the noble Moor should hazard such a place as his own second, with one of an ancraft infirmity, if there were an honest action to say so to the Moor.
Not I, for this fair island. I do love Cassio well, but would do much to cure him for his evil. But hark, what noise? Help, help!
You rogue, you rascal.
What's the matter, Lieutenant?
I knave teach my duty. I'll beat the knave into a twig bottle. Beat me. Does thou pray, rogue?
Nay, good Lieutenant. I pray you, sir, hold your hand.
Let me go, sir, or I'll knock you off the muzzard.
Come back, you're drunk.
Drunk?
Must die!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on right there. What in... What is the Skrillus combined with... Sorry, sir, I didn't try... Away, I say, go out and cry immunity. Nay, good lieutenant, alas, gentlemen, help, ho, lieutenant, sir, Montano, sir, help, masters, here's a goodly watch indeed. Who's that which rings the bell? Diablo, ho, the town will rise, God's will, lieutenant, hold, you will be shamed forever.
What is the matter here?
Zounds, I bleed still, I am hurt to death. Oh.
Hold for your lives.
Hold, ho, lieutenant, sir Montano, gentlemen, have you forgot all sense of place and duty? Hold, the general speaks to you. Hold, for shame.
Why, how now, ho? From whence art this? Are we turned Turks, and to ourselves do that which heavens hath forgive the Optimus? For Christian shame, put that this barbarous brawl. Honest, Iago, that looks death with grief. Speak who this began, all thy love I charge thee.
I do not know, friends all but now, even now, in quarter and in terms like bridge and groom, divesting them from bed, and then, but now, as if some planet had unwitted men, swords out and tilting one at other's breast, in a position bloody. I cannot speak, any beginning to this peevish odds, and what in actions glorious I had lost, those legs that brought me to a part of it.
How comes it, Michael? You are thus forgot? I pray you pardon me, I cannot speak. Worthy Montano, your word won't be civil. The gravity and stillness of your youth, the world has noted, and your name is great. It melts with wisest censors. What's the matter? That you unlast your reputation thus, and spend your rich options for the name of a night brawler? Give me answers to it.
Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer Iago can inform you, while I spare speech with something now offends me. Of all that I do, nor know I ought. By me that's said or done amiss this night, unless self-charity can be sometimes a vice, and to defend ourselves can be a sin, when violence assails us.
Now, by heavens, my blood begins my safer guides to roll, and passion have my best judgment collide. Essays to lead way, if I once stir, or do by lift this arm, the best of you shall sink to my rebuke. Give me to know how this foul rot began, who set it on, and he that is proved in this office, thou he has twinned with him, both that birth shall lose. What, in a town of war? Yet well, the people's heart brims of fear, to manage private and domestic quarrel, in night, and our court and guard safely. 'Tis monstrous, Iago, who's begun. If particularly a fine or leading office, thou dost deliver more.
Touch me not so near. I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should be to offense to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth. Shall nothing wrong him? Thus it is, General, Montano, and myself being in speech. There comes a fellow crying out for help, and Cassio following him with determined sword. To execute upon him, sir, this gentleman steps into Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself, the crying fellow, did pursue, lest by his clamor, as it so fell out, the town might fall in fright. He, swift of foot, outran my purpose, and I returned the rather. For that I heard the clink and fall of swords, and Cassio high in oath, which till to tonight I ne'er might say before. When I came back, for this was brief, I found them close together, at blow and thrust, even as again as ever. When you yourself did part them, more of this matter cannot I report, but men are men, and best sometimes forget, though Cassio did some little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them the best. Yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from him that fled some strange indignity which patience could not pass.
I know, Iago, lie honestly and love do minds this matter. Make it light to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but nevermore be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love be not raised up, I'll make thee an example.
What's the matter?
All's well now, sweetening. Come away to bed. Sir, for your hurts, myself will be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look with care about the town, and silence those whom invite. Vile broad distracted, come Desdemona. 'Tis a soldier's life, to have ballsy slumber, walked in strife.
What? Are you hurt, Lieutenant?
Past all surgery. Reputation, reputation, reputation. Oh, I have lost my reputation. I have lost my moral part of myself, and what remains is prestige, my reputation, Iago, my reputation.
As I am an honest man, I thought you have received some bodily wound. There is more sense in that than in reputation. Reputation is an idol of most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all, unless you repute yourself such a loser. What man? There are ways to recover the general again. You are but now cast in his mood, a punishment more in policy than a malice. Even so as one would beat his offenseless dog to affright his imperious lion. Sue to him again, and he's yours.
I will commander sue to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken, and so indecent of an officer. Drunk, a speak parrot, a squabble, swagger, swear, and discord frustrate with only one shadow. O thou invisible sprite of wine, if thou hast no name to be known by, let us call thee devil.
What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you?
I know not.
Is it possible?
I remember a mass of things, but not discreetly. A quarrel, but nothing wherefore. O God, that man should be put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains, that we should, with joy, pleasant reveal and applause, transform ourselves into beasts.
Why? But you are now well enough. How came you thus recovered?
It hath pleased the devil drunkenness to give place to the devil's wrath. One unperfection shows me another to make me frankly despise myself.
Come, you are too severe a moraler. As the time, the place, and the condition of this country stands, I could heartily wish this had not befallen. But since it is as it is, I mend it for your own good.
I will ask him for my place again. He shall tell me I am a drunkard. Had I a mouse of his hydra, such an answer would stop them all. To be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange! Even an inordinate cup is unpleased, and inagreeant and a devil.
Come, good wine is a good familiar creature. If it be well used, exclaim no more against it. And good lieutenant, I think you think I love you.
I have well proved it, sir. I drunk?
You or any man living may be drunk. At a time, man. I'll tell you what you shall do. Our general's wife is now the general. May say so in respect, for that he hath devoted and given up himself to this contemplation, mark, and denouement of his parts and graces. Confess yourself freely to her. Importune her help to put you in your place again. She is of so free, so kind, so apt, so blessed of disposition, she holds it a vice in her goodness, not to be do more than she has requested. This broken joint between you and her husband entreat her to splinter, and my fortunes again and lay warm naming. This crack of your love shall grow stronger than what it was before.
You advise me well.
I protest in the sincerity of love and honest kindness.
I think it freely. At betimes in the morning I will beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate for my fortunes, if they cherish me here.
You are in the right. Good night, Luke.
Good night, honest Iago.
How now, Rodrigo? I do follow here in the chase, not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been 2 nights exceedingly well cudgelled, and I think the issue will be, I shall have too much experience for my pains, and so with no money at all, and a little more bit, return again to Venice. How poor are they that have not patience? What wound would they ever heal but by degrees? Though once we work in wit, and without witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time, does it not go too well? Cassio hath baten thee, and though you shall small hurt Cassio, though other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will ripe. Content thyself a while by the mass 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the odyssey short. Retire thee, go where thou art elected. Away, I say, thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. 2 things are to be done. My wife must be moved for Cassio into mistress. I'll set her on. Myself and Wild to draw the Moor apart and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. That's the way. Duel not devised by coldness and delay. How now, Rodrigo? I do follow here in the chase, not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been 2 nights exceedingly well cudgelled, and I think the issue will be, I shall have too much experience for my pains, and so with no money at all, and a little more bit, return again to Venice. How poor are they that have not patience? What wound would they ever heal but by degrees? Though once we work in wit, and without witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time, does it not go too well? Cassio hath baten thee, and though you shall small hurt Cassio, though other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will ripe. Content thyself a while by the mass 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the odyssey short. Retire thee, go where thou art elected. Away, I say, thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. 2 things are to be done. My wife must be moved for Cassio into mistress. I'll set her on. Myself and Wild to draw the Moor apart and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. That's the way. Duel not devised by coldness and delay.